All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. All my kings and queens, yes sir, stand up. It's your boy King CJ, and we gonna be getting right into it today. Man, I did this whole recording. God damn it, it was like 16 minutes long, but I guess I had doubled up the audio, so I'm kind of got a speed run through this to give it a little shake up. So, what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about that updated free-to-play tier list, because now we have a new character coming out. Her name is Magi. That's a coming out. I mean, she's already out. So I really think she's been out for about a week or two now. Verdict is already in. We can already tell what she's going to be, what she is and what she isn't. So let's hop right into the character. Let's go see what she has in her arsenal. So first off the bat, I am going to say this. Magic as a character to build is probably going to be the easiest free-to-play character to build, maybe next to Iron Man. They gave her the utilities and the with house to max out the stats that you're going to need in this game to succeed. What I mean by that is most of her uniforms, they have, you know, a second stat that is defensive, pierce, and critical rating. Rather, that's on her regional gear and also her regular gear. So they already gave her a step up with that, so that is fantastic in her favor. Another thing they did was inside of her Omega cards, if you go over there and look at her exclusive stats, open it up, they gave her defensive, pierce, total damage, and supervillain damage. All three of those are phenomenal. Do you know how easy it's going to be for people to build her for PvP with that defensive pierce on her cards? Especially if they have, you know, special cards. Phenomenal. And they just gave her the with house and the utilities to max her stats. So that is a big plus. Also, this is probably the first time I can actually say, look at someone's enhanced charts and then look at every single one of them and kind of be like, okay, I feel like all of these can be useful. Every single one that you put in can be useful. You have attack and HP, and for God's sake, finally we have somebody that where HP actually matters, because you can convert her HP into damage. So she has attack and HP there. Second one, she has defensive pierce and HP. And here's the thing, guys, defense itself, it's kind of like, it's an and stat, but it's something there. It's not something totally used as like status effect accuracy on Doctor Strange or, you know, guard damage on Storm. You know what I mean? And then it gets better the further you go down, because the third one is accuracy rate, stamina recovery, and HP. And it gets even better, her fourth one, because it's total damage, ultimate gauge recovery, and HP. This character is going to be crazy nuts to max out her stats, man. Like, when I'm looking on paper with this character, on paper she just looks like she's going to be like one of the easiest free to play characters to max out, for sure. And unlike every else other character out there, she actually gives some value to HP cores. Now, you could say Captain America does it, but not to the extent that she does. He's more of somebody that can give you value to blue defensive cores, because he turns his defense into attack, if you get what I mean. So, there goes a big plus for her. Another thing is they gave her the arsenals within her specialties, right? To go ahead and find a way to get your cooldown decrease up there. Phenomenal. Like, everything about this character building wise, stamina recovery on dodges. I think she has a HP absorption on her shield. Yeah, absorbs 3%. See, like, guys, this character is going to be very, very good for free to play players, definitely. Another thing is when she pops her ults, she gets like a big HP recovery, and it's like a free pot, and that is so fantastic when you're doing story mode. Right now I'm hearing that this might be bugged in PvP, but we'll get to that later. Now I gave the breakdowns of the goods about this character, right? And you're probably looking at this like, oh wow, CJ, she's like on just looking at this sounds like she's gonna be the best free to play character, right? Like surely there can't be no one better if she's this easy cat. Well, my friend, that is where you are wrong. She's gonna have issues. This is probably the best thing that I'm gonna say about her. Jack of all trades, master of none. So she's gonna have issues, you know, topping off in the leaderboards. I don't want to like bash on this character, but I'm gonna go in a little in depth. So the way that her skills are set up, they're not set up to flow. They're not flowing right. Which I mean, it happens. It's just like that. But her biggest two highest damaging skills cost so much stamina. So much stamina, high cooldowns. It's absolutely ridiculous. About time she can, like, even if you have 50% cooldown, like, about time you even cast these skills and you wait for them to come on cooldown. If you're going against another Storm, Blackwood, or Iron Man that has 50% cooldown, you're probably going to go through like 2 rotations before you even get through your 1. So that's what kind of hurts her DPS on that. So that's why she's going to have trouble ranking in PvE for sure. Another thing that she's going to have issues with is when you come to PvP, a lot of her highest attacking skills, if you take a look at them, they're kind of her sword skills, but they're terrible at tracking. Someone could just move out the way on them. I think that's something that they could fix majorly. She does have her summons, which is fantastic. They do control aggro, but like that's probably all they are useful for. Nothing like serious. She has like 1 iframe, and that 1 iframe is like pretty quick. It's kind of just like that. Yeah, Magic herself, you know, she's a fantastic character, and honestly, if I had to recommend a character for free to play, this would be number 1 right here. This would be the number 1 character that I would recommend if you don't care about pushing leaderboards. So, moving on to the character. With all that being said, where do I rank her in the leaderboard? Let's go ahead and see where she is in the rankings of this tier list. There we go. Popping it open right here for you boys. Alrighty, so my line of thinking is I'm looking and I see her in PvE, and like I told you guys, she has those really big gaping flaws that I kind of just don't see that with Storm, Iron Man, and Black Widow, and I just don't see her out DPSing them. It's gonna be a tough rodeo for her, trying to place up there, but she's not like a dead weight option, kind of like almost these people are. Like remember when I told you guys the last trailer, if they're not top 3, then you might as well just go ahead and, you know, you can use them, but like why would you use them from there? However, I think with the addition of Magic, she makes it so like this 4th spot is now viable. Like this is going to be a viable option. She's gonna find a place. I don't think she's going to be better than these 3 overall, but I think if, you know, somebody comes in and you're looking at it and somebody spends a lot of money on Magic, you might see her climb some ranking boards here or there. Now let's move over to PvP. So here is where it might get a little bit controversial. Now I have these 2 right here. I have it as 3 because I think they're tied. For sure, Spider-Man is better than her in PvP for free to play, but here's the thing. I think all the RNG that comes with Spider-Man, and you gotta also fill out that 1 spec tree to the fullest extent, where you don't have to fill out a Magic spec trees to the fullest extent. I mean, it's nice to have, but it's not essential versus to where it's essential for Spider-Man. He has so much RNG that goes into place with him. It can be very tiresome. It can be very degrading when you don't get that RNG. So I think free-to-play players, they're going to have a much better time maybe going for Magic. when you know they're trying to do your PvP. But here's the thing: you do Magic for PvP, you're not gonna get the same results as Spider-Man. Spider-Man is gonna outclass her majorly when it comes to win-loss ratio. Just you're gonna have way less of a headache to build her. So that's kind of why I have these two tied, because I think they both bring. Spider-Man brings more value to a PvP player as a free to play. You know what I mean? He's gonna bring that if you can get the things, but that's if. The if part is what's kind of killing Spider-Man at this moment, is the if. But with Magic, there is no if, because most of her kit is guaranteed things, and she's not relying on like one spec or two specs. She's there all around. She's not going to give you as many dubs as Spider-Man, but she'll definitely do the thing for you to max them gears out. Now, I would like to go ahead, come down here. Overall, I think Magic is definitely better than these guys down here for free to play, for sure. Like, that is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. However, I just don't see her placing anywhere above these people, simply because this game is a leaderboard game. If it was not a leaderboard game, I will probably put Black Widow here. I will probably put Storm, keep her right here, and then I'll put Iron Man 1 and Magic 2. But since this is a leaderboard game, she just isn't really going to push them in leaderboards. So that is what's going to hurt her. Now, I did make some changes. I don't know if any of you guys noticed. Over here in the PvE section, I made a change for Star-Lord and Spider-Man, and I think I'm going to be set on this. Why? Because when I originally did this, I was somewhat downplaying Star-Lord. I mean, I don't think I was downplaying Star-Lord. I think my thing was it was so much RNG. I already knew that he can outperform Spider-Man in PvE. It was just it was the factor of all the RNG, and it's strictly RNG that goes down to that. And he just does not have the things like total damage and supervillain damage like Spider-Man does. Like, I don't know if it, honestly, in PvE, there's a lot less RNG that goes into Spider-Man versus his PvP counterpart. So that was kind of what was keeping it up there. And I just thought to myself, well, even though you go through all that RNG, even though when you hit that RNG, you're gonna kind of be like, still not kind of worth it. But I have seen and talked to some free-to-play Star-Lords. I have one in my alliance. I actually have two in my alliance, and I have some in some other group chats. They're free-to-play Star-Lords. They're making it work. However, when I have seen their RNG have hit right, I have seen them doing, let's say, 1.5 times better than what I thought Star-Lord was going to do. His single target damage when you get that RNG is phenomenal. That is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And since this game runs on single target damage, yeah, man, leaderboards, yeah, he's definitely the man with the plan. You know what? Because I originally thought that, Invasions was highlighting AoE, right? After seeing, this invasion for the Eternals and my man Mysterio, I don't think AoE has really played that much of a part in it. So I am going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and move Star-Lord up to 5. And then we're going to go ahead and move Doctor Strange down to 6, man. Yeah, it's kind of how it is, If this wasn't, like I said, man, if this was not a leaderboards game and it was an actual MMO, definitely Doctor Strange would be ahead of him. But since this is a tier list, Star-Lord can do his thing with single target damage, and most of it is single target damage. I think at this point he is definitely going to be above Doctor Strange. However, Doctor Strange is going to bring a lot of value when it comes to story mode, and that is a big portion of free-to-play players and new players. So take that as you is. Let's put a asterisk by Star-Lord, and then let's right over here Yeah, let's put that right there. If the RNG is hitting right. So let me go ahead and move that over to you guys so you guys can see that. Can you guys even see that? Oh, let me go ahead and close that over for you. There you go. There you go. Let's go ahead and do some things with this. Alright. Let me know if that's hard on the eyes. So if you see an asterisk by a character, that just means, you know, if the RNG is hitting right. If the RNG is hitting right. Right? So that's kind of where I'm at. I think these are really the only two characters I have asterisks by, because they're going to need that RNG to hit right. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that with too many characters. Again, I don't think this really changed anything. I think these two are kind of going to stay here. Captain America all around, yeah. See, yeah. So those are definitely going to stay the same. Magic is 4th place. As you guys can see, I did turn some things around here. I did do this because I feel like Black Widow is definitely #1 overall, free to play, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Iron Man would have been #1, but I feel like they have been stealth nerfing Iron Man. Like, a lot of his skills have definitely gotten a lot slower and worse at tracking, which has led to some clunkiness in PvP and PvE damage wise. So that's that. Storm is only 3rd because even though, like I told you guys, when I first did that, I kind of looked at that and said, okay, you know, Storm was #4 PvP, and now she was #1 PvE by a mile. So it only, and you know, I know free-to-play players usually care about PvE over PvP. So I kind of made her the 2nd best, because that's what's going to be. That is what they're going to value themselves off of. So I made them that way. But since Magic came, and she's clearly going to be better than Storm for PvP, which knocked her down another tier. I don't think, you know, being 5th place PvP, it's going to get you like top 2 anymore. So that's unfortunate because I'm a Storm main, but that is what it is. So all in all, I'm going to say with the addition of Magic, now I think if you're a free-to-play player, now I think there are 4 players. There are 4 players that you should look to invest in. Instead of just 3, I think that Magic has sweetened the pot, if that makes sense. She's not going to knock your stock off or anything like that, but she's definitely a viable, and she's definitely going to be a force to reckon with in the near coming futures of this game, whenever we get some game modes that, you know, cater more towards her in the MMO-like fashion, because she's a summoner. We get something that you know, gears towards summoners, then, you know, maybe she get her day in the shine, you know what I mean? Because in all honesty, I don't think Storm really even had all this much value that much until we had invasions and they highlighted, you know, AoE damage. And I mean, there was battle challenge and spec ops as well, but those were kind of like, you know, rewards are kind of trash, or, you know, it's free to play, so anybody can do it kind of thing. But I think now with invasions, it kind of highlighted what her actual good role is, and I'm happy that invasions definitely has highlighted that for her. Now we just need something for, you know, our Doctor Stranges, our Captain Americas, our we got stuff for Star-Lord. Just mainly our Doctor Strange and our Captain Americas, and then also our Magics as well when it comes to summon. So if you guys are liking the tier list, you let me know. If I should do it in a different format, just let me know. Leave a comment if you agree with this. Leave a comment if you think you don't agree with this. But until then, take care, y'all.